Hello everybody and welcome back. So in this video we are going to be talking about Canada's visitors visa, the documents you need and how to apply for a Canada visitors visa. You have to understand that first, everybody's case is different. Someone, for example, like 20 years, 21 years would not and will never have the same requirement like for somebody who is around 30 years, 35, 40. You understand? Same thing applies for a student and a worker. So everybody's case is different, and remember that your case must always make sense in front of the visa officer. No matter what you do, no matter what documents you provide, make sure that your case is making sense. That is the technique. And how do you make your case to make sense? By putting the required documentation in order, which we are going to be talking about in this video. And also, one most important document you must never forget is writing an SOP. Writing a very good SOP during your visa application. Even if it is not required, please try to attach it. Very important. An SOP is very important. By the way, an SOP is a statement of purpose. It simply means that you tell the visa officer why you want to visit Canada, what you do during your visit, and what are your plans after your visit. So it is very important. Remember guys, remember that applying for a visitor visa is a TRV. That means it's a temporary resident visa, and which let's just say you have to prove that you have to return back to your home country. So at the end of the day, you have to have a good home ties. It could be economic ties, it could be your job, it could be social ties, your family, your wife, your friends. It could be any, like, just have home ties. All right, you must always show that you are going there and you're coming back. That is the secret. Writing an SOP could better explain why you're going there, what you will do there, and what you intend to achieve while you're there, and what you will do after your visit. These are things that are very important. Like I said, this SOP is not compulsory, but believe me, it increases your chances of getting a visitor's visa or any type of visa, by the way, if you actually put it in place. Right? Write a good SOP. Very important. I will always encourage anybody who has plans or who is planning to apply for a visitor visa to always write an SOP. No matter what, please try to write it. Remember, Canada does not have a visa interview, so they depend on a lot on documents before they approve visas. They want to see the documentation. There is no visa interview, unfortunately. It's not like American embassy where you have to go and present yourself. They look at you, they determine whether or not you are speaking the truth, or like psychologically they can tell if you are actually real or fake. So with Canada, they need documents. There is no visa interview with Canada. That's the difference between Canada and most other countries and their embassies. So guys, please, you cannot afford, like I said, one tip, make sure you write an SOP. The second tip, make sure you have the required documentation, everything that has to do about it. Remember that a case must always make sense. That means you must show home ties, proof of home ties. Remember, this is a temporary visa. It's a temporary resident visa. It doesn't give you access to stay permanently. You have to show that you're going there, you're coming back. For example, if you are working, having a job is an economic tie, right? It means that you have a job in your home country. If you are going there to visit, make sure that the employer has given you an official leave of absence. That letter serves as, backup. It serves as proof that you are not available on duty from this date to this date. As simple as that. Make sure you have all the required documentation. And just so you know, the visa fee and the biometric fee for Canada visa application, believe me, is very affordable and very cheap. We are looking at $185 Canadian dollars. That's the fee you have to pay to the Canadian government. $100 visa fee and $85 biometric fee. That is all you're paying. So what make you think that having a visa to Canada is difficult? It's not difficult. So in this video, I urge you to stick to the end of this video so you get the required documentation you will need, how to increase your chances, what to do, what not to do. All right, please. Hello guys, and welcome back. So let me just use the moment to introduce myself. For those that are meeting me for the very first time, my name is Njukan Roosevelt. I am an international student recruitment officer. I am an official representative of 5 designated learning institutions in Canada, and I'm also in partnership with Edu Mandate. So together with Edu Mandate, we are recruiting for over 11 DLIs in Canada. So if you're an international student, you have difficulties getting international admission, please, you can reach out to us with your request, and we are gonna assist you with your student admission. You can reach us or through email or through this phone number, right? All right, now without wasting much of your time, let's get down to the video itself. What are the documents you will need when applying for a Canada's visitors visa? Question mark. What are the documents you will need? You have to also note that the documents you will need applies on individual cases. Everybody is different. Everybody's case is different. That is why it is unique to you alone. All right. The documents that will be needed by a student or by an 18-year-old, 20-year-old, 21-year-old will not necessarily be the documents that will be needed by a 30s, someone in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. All right. So you have to know all these things. There are things that we have to take note when applying or when compiling documents for a Canada's visitors visa or any other type of visa. You have to take note of all these things. Your age group counts a lot. Your work history counts a lot. Now, also, the documents you're also going to be submitting will also depends on the portal you're using to do your visa application. Remember, Canada has 2 portals. We're looking at the GCKey and the IELTS portal, the new IELTS portal. So it depends on the portal you're using. If you are using the GCKey, I think there are some default documents that come along when creating the document. For example, the visa application means outside Canada. You have to also fill the family information form. You also have to which other document is it? I think it's the application for temporary residence. These are 3 documents that come alongside when creating the application or when creating your account. You also have to upload an electronic photo of you with white background and stuff like that. So now let's come back now to the new IELTS portal. With the new IELTS portal, you don't need to upload any of those documents. It is like a friendly interview. You just answer the question, what would you like to do in Canada? You answer. For how long will you be in Canada? You answer. When do you plan to enter Canada? When do you plan to leave? So it is more easier compared to the GCKey. Yeah, but whatever the case, any portal you are using now, the documents you are going to be submitting now will depend on the portal you are going to use when submitting your Canada's visa application. So generally, let's just talk about the GCKey, because with the new IELTS portal, it has already been simplified. It has already been meshed into a questionnaire, so you don't need to submit extra documentation as like the forms, the way they are being done on the GCKey. Right, when using the GCKey. Now let's just get back now to the GCKey, because this is where most of the documentations need to be done. Now you have to fill the visa application form. That one is very normal. You have to fill those forms, fill the family information form. Family information form simply carries you, your dad, your mom, your spouse if you're married, then your brothers, your sisters, your step brothers, your step sisters, and your children. Yeah, section A, section B, section C. Section A is about you and your parents. Section B is about your children, and section C is about your siblings. Okay. Now, aside these 3 main documents that you have to submit extra, they come like that. Like I said, they are default document. Now, what other documents will you need to to spice up your application? Like I said, SOP is not compulsory, but believe me, that is your visa interview. That is the only place where you get a chance to explain your case. Believe me, you have to put a lot of spice into your visa application. Now let's talk about other things, other documentation. And like I said, it applies on individual cases. So I'll take an example for somebody who is working so that you understand better. Somebody who is working and is earning salary. All right. So the very first document you normally and generally need is your international passport. You cannot go to any country in the world without an international passport. I don't know if any, maybe there is, I don't know. But the very first document you need is your international passport. So the second document, and also one of the most important documents you also need, is your proof of funds. Remember, you are going for an international journey, and there is no way you will travel without money. You need means to support yourself. You must always prove to the officer that you have enough financial ability. You have the means to take care of yourself, from your flight to your visa application to your accommodation and to your living expenses while you be in Canada. Yeah, you have to show a very good proof of funds. And believe me, there is no particular amount that needs to be in your bank account. There's no particular amount. Like I said, it applies on individual cases. I've seen a case where somebody applied with a statement of 2,000 Canadian dollars and was approved a visitor's visa. Yes, you heard me right. And there are some people that will come with 10,000 and they'll still get rejected. So everybody's case is different. So like I said, we are using the case of somebody who is working. So the third document you are going to be needing is proof of employment, contract of employment, attestation of employment, yeah, from your employer to show that you're actually employed full-time or you're on a contract based. I don't know the terms of the contract, so but just have a document that shows that you are currently employed in your home country. Right now, when you have that document, you also have to produce another document from your employer, which is also called the leave of absence. Remember, you cannot just leave the company to go to Canada and stay in Canada for more than 1 week, or let's just say 3 days. I don't know for how long. Before you go to anywhere, normally you need official permission, and that will come as a leave of absence. That now will show that, oh, my employer is aware that I'm leaving my post to go for vacation, whatsoever reason you want to travel to Canada, but let your employer be aware. And being aware simply means they give you an official document that yes, we are aware that our worker will not be on post or on duty from this date to this date. That is how you attach your leave of absence. The first one, like I said, is your contract of employment. Second one is a leave of absence from your employer. This is a case of somebody who is working. So the third document that will still need to come from your employer or from your human resource department will be your 6 recent pay slips. I think human resource managers do provide that, or your bank. Sometimes your bank might provide it for you. Also, your employer might do that. It all depends on the nature of your company. If it's a sole proprietorship, if it's an incorporated business, if it's a limited liability, all depends on the nature of the company. But whatever the case, you need to show proof of your 6 months recent pay slip. And now it becomes very interesting. If you claim that you're earning salary, right? If you claim that you're earning salary, you should also be able to prove that salary, what is on your pay slip, should also be reflecting on what is on your bank statement or your proof of funds. It has to align. It is supposed to align. Remember, most employers now, they pay through bank transfer. So you can have a pay slip of 100,000 Canadian dollars, for example, and your bank statement does not reflect 100,000 every month. It doesn't make sense. So your bank proof of funds must always match alongside your pay slip for the case of somebody who is working. Let me just summarize what I was trying to say earlier. What I'm trying to say is, if you're earning a salary, for example, 10,000 Canadian dollars, and because like I said, most employers now, they pay through bank transfer. They don't pay again handy like before. So now, you know, most companies, they have payment dates, and most of those dates are 28th of every month. So if you're claiming that you are receiving salary from your employer or from your bank, that means that every 28th of every month, you should be showing how your salary is entering your account automatically. That's very, very obvious, right? It's very, very normal. So please take note of those things that might set you up or might make you fishy. So adjust those things, avoid problems, and have a clean visa application. So the fourth document, I've mentioned passport, I've mentioned proof of funds, I've mentioned employment attestation, I have mentioned pay slips, I have mentioned leave of absence. Those are 5 documents. The 6th document that are going to be needed is a police clearance record. A police clearance record is a document that is issued by your police department. It could also be issued, depending on your country where you're from, it could also be issued by your state council or the judicial system. It all depends on how your country is designed, you know. So the police clearance record serves as a document to show that you have a clean record. You don't have any bad experience, or you have not committed any serious crime in the past. When you produce those documents, you provide that document like that, it means that you are a good citizen of your country and you are ready to also abide by the rules of IRCC when applying for a Canada's visitor's visa. Please take note, that is the 6th document I have mentioned. Now, the 7th document on our list is going to be an accommodation itinerary. Now, it depends on the individual. If you don't have anybody in Canada, if you don't have anybody inviting you, you are going on your own. It is very possible to go on your own. By the way, let me just say this now. You must not receive an invitation before you apply for a Canada visitor's visa. No, you must not receive any invitation from anybody. In fact, you must not have anybody in Canada to go to Canada. Yeah, you got it. Hear it from me. Take it the way I'm giving it to you. All right, now in case where you don't have anybody, you have to do a hotel reservation. You know, you have to show where you'll be staying in Canada, because these things are very important. Because when you arrive the port of entry, the POE, many people don't know that. When you arrive the port of entry, they'll also ask you some of these questions. Where will you be staying? Why are you here in Canada today? You have to, you know, you guys need to like be consistent with your response. Yeah, because I've seen a case where someone did not even know where to stay, and believe me, he was deported. Yeah, he was deported. He did not even know where he was going, and it doesn't even make sense to me. When I heard that, I was very, very embarrassed. Guys, listen up. Having a visa is one. Crossing the point of entry is another tax. All right, the visa is just one step ahead. Crossing the POE is another step, and that is the final step, by the way. That is where they decide if you enter the country or not. The port of entry. That's the immigration at the airport. Let me put it that way. Yeah, that is it. So guys, watch out. Be very, very careful. Now let's move on to the 8th. What is the 8th document on our list? Is going to be, but before I do that, please, if you are enjoying this video, please do not forget to subscribe. Hit that subscription button below and also turn on your post notification bell. Like I said earlier ago, thank you. We are now on 2K subscribers. I can only say thank you very much. God bless you, everybody. Guys, I'm really super excited. So the 8th document on our list is going to be a flight reservation. You have to, you know, these documents are not actually compulsory, but you put them in place to spice up your application. A flight reservation simply serves as, like, you know, it shows that you have booked your flight to and from Canada. You must not pay. There are so many websites where you can do that for free of charge. You don't have to pay, but there's some options with some airlines where you have to pay like $100. Like you take the reserve and hold option, something like that. You pay $100. That means they hold your ticket. Yeah, depending on the dates that you have put in there, like the departure date and the returning date. So it all depends. Like I said, these documents are not compulsory, but it helps to spice up your application. Please take note. It's very, very, very important. Right. Just a reminder, like I said something some minutes ago about the official fees that you're going to pay to IRCC. Let me repeat it again. The official fees that you're going to pay to IRCC in total, if you're applying for the very first time, you're going to pay 185 Canadian dollars. That is all you're paying. 185, and they are subdivided into two. The visa fee, the biometric fee. The visa fee is 100, the biometric fee is 85 Canadian dollars. So that makes 185. But if you're applying for the second time, and if you're applying for the second time in less than 10 years, you are going to pay just $100. That is all, and you're good to go. All right, so take note of those fees. There's nothing extra. Yeah, but if you're using a consultant, if you're using the service of somebody, yeah, you have to pay according to the person's services and your agreement. But the official fees you're paying to IRCC is 185 Canadian dollars, period. That is all. Now the 9th document on our list, let's just say for somebody who is married, you should also consider attaching your marriage certificate. If you have children, you should also consider attaching your children's birth certificate. And those children's birth certificate, if you are using the GC key, remember there's a family information form to fill. You also have to put all those children there. Then you use your birth certificate as proof of children. You have to show proof that they are children by using your birth certificate. If you are married, you have to show proof by using your marriage certificate. All these things must make sense. Guys, the secret to every visa application is that let your case make sense. That is it. It has to make sense in front of the visa officer. There is nothing too difficult about applying for a Canada visitor visa or any visa at all. Let it just make sense. Please present your file, present it nicely. Do it like, you know, take your time. Don't hurry when doing your applications. You can take all the time in the world. one step at a time, and believe me, gradually but surely, what we are looking at is an ending, a happy ending, good result, not doing stuff fast at the end of the day you be the one crying. So take note. And I have one advice to some of you, one important advice, and it should also serve as a warning for those of you who meet agent and you are like, you need something sure, you need something 100% sure. Hear it from me today. There is no visa that is 100% sure. I repeat, there is no visa that is 100% sure unless that country is visa free. Let's take the case of Canada that we are talking about. There is no Canada visa that is 100% sure. Please, hello, be very careful. If you do that, you'll get in touch with a fake agent that will give you a fake visa, and when you land at the port of entry, they're going to give you 10 years ban, and that will give you a bad travel record. It might affect your status with other embassies. Please be very careful. The decision to approve or reject a visa lies in the hands of IRCC. No agent should tell you that your visa is 100% sure. If you hear that, please run. Don't pay that money. It's just a peaceful advice. You like, you trash it, like, you keep it. The choice is all yours to make. I repeat, no visa is 100% sure except it's a visa free country or except it's an e-visa. It all depends on the case, by the way, because there's some e-visa that are not also 100% sure. So guys, take note, be warned. I'm warning everybody. It's a peaceful advice. You can like, you take it, like, you trash it. The choice is all yours to make. So guys, like I said, if you have attached your, if you are married, you attach your marriage certificate. If you have children, you attach your birth certificate. Now, if you have properties, if you have a business in your name, attach everything. Those things are very important. It gives you credibility. They are looking at, at the end of the day, they want to see if you'll be able to return back to your home country. You have a family, you cannot abandon your family. That your blood, you cannot abandon them. If you have a business in your name, that is good. It must not necessarily be in your name, but if you have the article of association that your name is included in it, good and fine. If you are part of the shareholders, good and fine. All these things need to be taken into consideration. Like I said before, Canada relies on documents to make decision. There is no visa interview. That means based on what you give them, they act on what you give them. They are acting based on what they are seeing, those documents they have provided. Attach whatsoever business you have. If you have a land, you have a car, you have assets, name them. Attach, give it to them. Just, no matter how many there are, even if there are 100, just give it to them. Let them get tired of it. Just saturate them with it. And believe me, you'll get the visa like magic. Having a visitor's visa to Canada is not difficult. Just follow the right procedure. Just put the documentation in order. And you'll be surprised with what you're going to get at the end of the day. Just a reminder, the processing time for most visitors visa is in between 6 weeks and 9 weeks, but due to the high level of applications that the IRCC has been receiving lately, it has surpassed the normal processing time. So expect something like 3 months, 4 months, or 5 months processing time for your visas, for your visitors visas to Canada. So guys, that was what we had for you today. So guys, if you love the content of this video, please do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to hit your notification bell. I'll be coming next Friday with another video, how to answer port of entry questions. Guys, I received a very embarrassing message today. One of our clients, maybe for security reasons, he said I should not post his videos, how we always do about results. So I kept that personal. Unfortunately for him, he traveled to Canada yesterday without informing me. Alright, so I would have given him some tips on how to answer some questions. So unfortunately, when he got at the port of entry, they asked him a very funny and simple question, and I was unable to answer. So I'll be bringing that video next week for you guys, so that you don't make such an error. An error that he would definitely live to regret all his life. That would have never happened if he had told me that he was traveling, but unfortunately he kept it for himself. So he wanted to travel without telling me. But by the way, I'm not the cause. So in our next video, like I said, we're talking about POE, port of entry, how to answer port of entry questions. I said before, having the visa is 1, entering the country is 2. Having a visa does not mean that you are going to enter the country. Take note of that. Put that in your head. Having a visa does not guarantee entry to a country. Please take note of this statement. Information is power in our 21st century now. If you don't have information, have yourself to blame. Everything is there. Just search for it, ask for it, and you will receive it. So I can't wait to see you next Friday. So thanks once more. Thanks for subscribing, and see you next Friday. Bye bye.